I'm about to show you 10 cities that look like paradise online, but moving there will absolutely destroy the picture you have in your head. You see the perfect social media posts, the movies, the hype. They're selling you a dream life in a dream city, but it's a trap. We're going through the top 10 cities people tell you to move to, and I'm going to show you the insane numbers they don't want you to see. Let's go. Number 10 is the big, bold heart of Texas, Dallas. And if you've seen the hype, you know everybody says the same thing. The hype around this place is absolutely insane. We're talking explosive growth and a vibe that makes you feel like anything is possible. We're talking explosive growth and a vibe that makes you feel like anything is possible. People see Dallas as the perfect city, a booming metropolis without the crazy price tag. They move for the jobs, the shiny buildings, and the feeling they're getting in on America's next great city. But then the bills start coming and the dream starts to crumble. That affordable reputation, it's basically ancient history. The first thing everyone says is there's no state income tax, which sounds amazing, but it's a total bait and switch. It's like a pizza place advertising a free pizza, but then they charge you $50 for the box. To make up for it, Texas has some of the highest property tax rates in the entire country. The average effective property tax rate in Dallas is around 2.2%, nearly double what Californians pay. So when you finally buy that dream house, you get a tax bill so big it feels like a surprise roommate who never pays rent. And that big city feel comes with a giant city problem: soul-crushing sprawl. The city is growing so fast, you'll spend half your life sitting in traffic. Your time, your gas money, your sanity, it all just disappears on the freeway. Dallas isn't just a city, it's a full-time commute, and that's a hidden cost the hype never prepares you for. Dallas is number 10 because it's still manageable, but the gap between the hype and the reality is getting bigger every year. Coming in at number 9, we have the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The hype is real. It's bursting with history, it's a food paradise, and it's sold as the cheap alternative to New York and DC. The pitch is simple. You get the awesome, walkable, historic city for a fraction of the cost. Sounds perfect, right? But when you look at the numbers, you realize that brotherly love is gonna cost you. Philly has a secret weapon it uses to attack your bank account. It's one of the only cities in America with its own wage tax, 3.75% for residents, on top of federal taxes, on top of state taxes. That's right. Imagine your boss gives you $100, but before you can even touch it, the city just snatches $4 right out of your hand. Every single paycheck. Then there's the other side of Philly. It's a city of wild contrasts. You can walk down one street and it feels like a European paradise, and then you turn the corner and it feels completely forgotten. That affordability you moved for can turn into a trap depending on which street you end up on. Philly is number 9. Smashing into our list at number 8 is Music City itself, Nashville. The hype is deafening. It's the bachelorette party capital of the universe, and it's growing at an impossible speed. People are flooding in for the legendary music, the insane energy, and that magical lure of no state income tax. But listen closely, because that growth is hitting a very sour note. The exact same boom that made Nashville so cool is also making it impossible for normal people to live there. The cost of living isn't just rising, it's exploding. Your rent for a tiny one-bedroom apartment can easily cost over $1,690 a month. In fact, home prices have seen a massive premium, with buyers paying around 40% over what the predicted price should be. You could literally buy 1,500 tacos for that price. And the traffic? It's becoming as famous as the Grand Ole Opry. The infrastructure was built for a much smaller town, and now it's completely overwhelmed. It's a classic case of a city becoming a victim of its own hype. The most interesting part? The musicians and artists who made Nashville cool in the first place. The people who gave the city its entire identity can't afford to live there anymore. They're probably writing songs about their rent checks right now. Nashville is number 8. Still great, just not the deal it used to be. Landing at number 7 is the city for brilliant minds with even deeper pockets, Boston. The hype is all about being smart and historic. World-class universities, incredible history, walking neighborhoods. It genuinely has everything. People move here to feel like a genius and be part of something important, but the numbers will give you a masterclass in being poor. Let's be clear, Boston is crushingly expensive. Thinking of buying a house here? Ha, good luck. A completely normal house in Boston. Nothing special, style, no view, no pool, costs $1 million. Rent is just as brutal. The average rent in Boston is over $3,200 a month, consistently ranking among the most expensive rental markets in the entire country. I am not even joking. On top of that, Massachusetts is one of the most expensive states for childcare in the nation, with a full-time nanny costing an average of nearly $900 per week. Does it come with a pot of gold in the backyard? Because you'll need one. And the traffic again. Those charming old streets were originally designed for horses and cows, not cars, and it shows. One study ranked Boston as having the 4th worst traffic in the United States, with the average driver losing 79 hours a year just sitting in their car. You're getting a world-class education in patience while being financially suffocated. Boston is a city built for the world's elite, disguised as a city for the world's smartest. Unless you have a trust fund, the numbers are just brutal. Boston is number 7. Amazing city, but absolutely punishing to your bank account. At number 6, we have the powerhouse of the Midwest, the Windy City, Chicago. Let's be honest, Chicago is awesome. It has world-class architecture. An unbelievable food scene, and a gorgeous lakefront. People see it as the ultimate deal, a true big city life that you can actually afford. But the numbers reveal a secret villain that haunts the city: taxes. Illinois already has high taxes, but Chicago takes it to another level with a combined sales tax of 10.25%, one of the highest in the nation. That means for every $100 you spend, the government just takes over $10 for free. You're basically tipping the government every time you buy a coffee. But it doesn't stop there. Property taxes are a monster that never stops eating your money. The median property tax bill recently jumped by over 16% in a single year, the highest increase in at least 3 decades. You might fall in love with the city's vibrant culture and its stunning parks, but you'll live in constant fear of the next tax bill. This affordable big city has hidden costs that will drain you dry. And here's 2 things. First, buildings and infrastructure are slowly subsiding, and climate change is accelerating erosion along the Lake Michigan shoreline. The city is beautiful, and it is also physically moving downward. Second, Chicago's violent crime rate remains one of the highest among major American cities. Certain neighborhoods have numbers that would shock most people who only know Chicago from the architecture photos. Chicago is number 6. The city is real. The taxes are also very real. Kicking off our top 5 is the magnificent Emerald City, Seattle. It's the birthplace of grunge, the mecca of coffee, and a tech paradise with huge salaries, all surrounded by incredible nature. People dream of moving here for a 6-figure job and progressive vibes, but the numbers wash that dream away with a cold, expensive reality. It is ridiculously ostensibly expensive. The cost of living is 45% higher than the national average. Even your groceries are about 11% more expensive than what most Americans pay. And housing? It's double the national average. It's like you're paying for 2 houses, but you only get one. A typical house costs well over $800,000. To live comfortably as a single person, you need to be making well over $100,000 a year, with some studies suggesting the number is closer to $135,000. And there's another cost that doesn't show up on a spreadsheet: the famous Seattle freeze. Good luck making friends. It's a real thing where newcomers find it incredibly difficult to connect with locals. You'd have more luck making friends with a statue. And here's something nobody puts in the relocation guide: Seattle gets 152 rainy days per year. Not cloudy, rainy. You're paying premium prices for a premium city, struggling to make a single friend, and it's raining more than it isn't. But wait, there's more. Seattle has one of the most visible homeless population problems of any city in America. The scale of it genuinely surprises people who move there without expecting it. Seattle is number 5. Incredible city, premium price tag, a visible homelessness, and weather that doesn't follow the rules anymore. Sizzling in at number 4 is the Magic City, Miami. The hype is all about living in paradise. Beaches, legendary nightlife, and an endless summer vibe. It's become a magnet for people escaping high taxes, a place lured by Florida's promise of 0 state income tax. The pitch is to live where everyone else vacations, but this paradise is deeply flawed. The numbers are staggering. Miami is one of the least affordable housing markets in the entire country. To afford a typical apartment, you'd need an annual salary of nearly $110, which is dramatically dramatically higher than the area's median household income. Wealthy people are driving prices into the stratosphere, but normal salaries are completely stuck in the mud. For every 100 low-income renters, there are only 27 affordable homes available. The rich are buying everything while normal people can't even afford to look at a house. And you know what comes with the sunshine? Hurricanes. Because of the climate risk, Florida has some of the highest homeowners insurance costs in the nation, and they are skyrocketing. Your yearly insurance bill might cost more than your car. And here are two things more. First, alligators. Florida has over 1.3 million alligators, and they show up in places that will genuinely surprise you. Swimming pools, driveways, front yards, golf courses. This is not a rare event. It's a regular part of life in Miami suburbs and surrounding neighborhoods. Second, flooding. Miami streets flood during high tides, even when there is no rain and no storm. Climate change and sea level rise are causing regular tidal flooding in residential neighborhoods. Miami is number 4. The dream is real, so is the price tag. Taking the bronze medal of shattered expectations is the City of Angels, Los Angeles. The hype is legendary. It's the entertainment capital of the world, a place of endless sunshine and Hollywood glamour. People make a pilgrimage to LA hoping to get famous, but the daily reality is an absolute nightmare. LA is like a video game boss with 3 heads. Insane housing, impossible traffic, and gigantic taxes. Housing costs are beyond belief. On top of that, California has the highest state income tax in the country, with a top marginal rate that can hit 13.3%. And the traffic? It's a soul-crushing punishment that controls your entire life. While the average one-way commute is officially around 30 minutes, that number feels like a fantasy for millions. A 2-hour commute each way is considered normal. You literally live in your car, which is your second home, except you also have to pay for your first home, which you never get to see because you're always in traffic. And one more thing that don't show up in the Hollywood version of Los Angeles. LA has the largest homeless population of any city in America. Over 75,000 people living on the streets, in tent encampments, under highway overpasses. It's visible everywhere across the city, not just in one neighborhood, but throughout. Los Angeles is number 3. The city is everything the hype says. The full picture is also everything the hype doesn't say. Our runner-up, taking the silver medal for being comically unlivable, is San Francisco. The hype is built on innovation and beauty. It's the tech capital of the world, home to the Golden Gate Bridge, and has a cool counterculture history. People move here for massive paychecks and to feel like they are living in the future. But the numbers show a city that has become so expensive, it's just funny now. In fact, so many people are leaving that the city has experienced a significant net migration loss in recent years. San Francisco is where the unaffordability stopped being shocking and started being almost funny. Want to rent a tiny one-bedroom apartment? That'll be over $3,000 a month. You could rent a castle in another country for that price. Buying a home? Haha, you're hilarious. You'll need millions. To afford a median-priced home in San Francisco County, a household needs to earn over $400,000 a year. But the cost is only half the story. It's that you pay millions for a house and then have to navigate serious urban decay just to get your mail. It makes no sense. And then there's the crime picture. San Francisco has one of the highest property crime rates of any major American city. Car break-ins became so common that locals stopped leaving anything visible in their vehicles. And in many neighborhoods, stopped being surprised when windows get smashed anyway. Retail theft got so out of control that major chain stores started closing locations in the city entirely. You're paying $3,000 a month to live somewhere where locking your car door is considered optimistic. San Francisco is number 2. The innovation hub of the world. Also somehow one of the most expensive and most challenging places to actually live in America. And coming in at number 1, the city whose monumental hype is matched only by its brutal reality is the one and only New York City. The hype needs no introduction. It's the Big Apple, the center of the universe. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. But the numbers tell you that making it here usually just means surviving. If you thought the other cities were expensive, you have seen nothing yet. New York City is the most expensive city in the United States. The cost of living is 79% higher than the national average. average, and housing is 230% higher. That is not a typo. 230%. The average rent in Manhattan can be over $4,500 for a place so small you can touch all 4 walls at once. A 30-day unlimited Metro card for the subway will set you back over $130. A single adult needs the equivalent of 2 full-time minimum wage jobs just to get by without help. Plus, the taxes are an absolute beast. Living here is a relentless daily battle, and the city is always winning. Living in New York isn't a dream. It's the final boss fight of life, and the final boss is your landlord who just doubled your rent. You lose. And here's one more thing that doesn't make the New York City brochure. The city is literally sinking. Studies show New York is slowly subsiding, sinking under the weight of its own buildings and infrastructure, and in some areas at an accelerating rate. At the same time, sea levels around New York are rising faster than the global average. Those two things together, a city going down and the ocean coming up, are creating a growing flood risk in coastal neighborhoods. New York is everything the dream says it is. It's also the most expensive place to live in the United States by every major measure. 10 cities, all of them worth visiting, all of them worth knowing the real numbers before you make any decisions. The hype is real for a reason. But the hype is only half the story, and it proves that before you pack your bags to chase a dream, you have to do your homework. You have to look at the numbers first. Which city on this list shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and if this just saved you from an expensive mistake or helped you feel better about a decision you already made, subscribe. Thanks for watching.